Alright, so here's the start of this video. Tackling that old Galley gasket. I've been watching videos. Shout out to this dude, Jules Mechanics. I was watching his video for how to remove these AC lines. And obviously this is the main one. Nifty, Nissan, and Infiniti how to. This has been really helpful. And this is the part list that I've assembled. So I have my serpentine belt. I ended up getting a license plate bracket for my car because I need that in my state. And the one that I had on my car, I accidentally, well, I threw it away because it was cracked, and not realizing that this would cost me this much. Obviously, I have the oil Galley gasket kit from Z1. More miscellaneous stuff that I was like, why not? Like these three, you don't need them. I just bought them just cause. Obviously, I'm gonna replace the thermostat, timing cover kit. This comes with all your seals and stuff. The coolant pipe O-ring. Even though I didn't see him replace it in that video, I'm still gonna replace it. So it's that long tube. They said that you need two, but in the video I only ever see one, which is one back here. This is one there and one there. Obviously, water pump, might as well. Comes with the gaskets. And then I'm also gonna end up rebooting all of my ignition coils because I had bought the kit a while ago. I replaced that one ignition coil in the older video, and another ignition coil started misfiring, so I replaced the boot on that one, but just on that one. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna end up rebooting all of my ignition coils. I'm gonna take off my throttle bodies and clean them as well, because you have to take off your throttle bodies to get access to your ignition coils. So I'm gonna end up replacing the gasket as well, and then you have your dipstick O-ring. Now for the AC, because I'm gonna take off the whole front end. This is a job that I've never really done. I work like I'm a mechanic, but I've never done big work like this yet. So I'm gonna take off the whole front end, which means I'm gonna have to take off the AC condenser lines. And I found this kit on AutoZone and then on Amazon. And then I'm gonna end up buying a carbide scraper, a funnel kit. We have this one, which will be useful for bleeding it. Obviously, I have to drain the oil, so I just bought some oil. 2 gallons of coolant, I hope should be enough. We have ultra gray Permatex, like a big tube. I'm gonna have to buy a caulking gun from Harbor Freight. We have a foldable oil funnel for the water pump coolant, which he does in right here. Makes like a little kit, that way it doesn't fall down. So yeah, that's my whole list. I'll probably put a link for all of this shit in the description. I'm not replacing timing because my motor only has 67,000 miles. There should be really no wear and tear on my timing at all. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so a good portion of the Amazon shit just came in today. We have the funnel kit. We have the Astro carbide scraper, the moldable funnel. That'll be for the water pump. I have OEM tools, 19mm crank bolt socket. It's a weighted socket. I ended up going with ultra gray, just a whole 2 of it. And then I got obviously 2 jugs of coolant. I'm hoping it's enough. And then my oil. Alright, so this is a couple days later. I copped the caulking gun from Harbor Freight. She was like $4. Steel wire brush, just in case. And then an oil filter. Fucking let the torture begin. Let the torture begin, bruh. I'm gonna start taking off the front bumper. And then, well, I gotta take off the front bumper, headlights, take out the core support. Holy shit, alright. Let's get to it. Let's buzz down. Let's buzz down. Look in there. There you go.
Easy as fuck for the front bumper. Now I gotta do everything else. Alright, headlights are gone. Just a heads up for the bumper. Obviously, if you have a newer G, you will have to disconnect your fog lights. These look like you would press down, but you actually have to push up and it'll release it. And then you'll have this tab connected to the headlight itself. You can cut the zip tie, but since I want to reuse as much as I can, you can push it out far enough to press this with some pliers, take out the intake box, and then pull on the harness this way. It'll pop out. And then on the driver's side, which is this side that we're still on, you'll have the cable for the hood latch. This can come off the headlight. For a second looking at it, I was like, I don't think this shit comes off, but it does. It's not really a clip as much as you just have to pull it back and up. You can see it has a little hook. You have to go back and up. And these clips are not that hard to take off. I just used a screwdriver and pressed on that little tab. That's it. Obviously the intake boxes aren't hard to take off either. Just 10, 8 for the tubing, and you just pull it straight up. So I'm gonna just be giving y'all little updates here and there. So obviously I took out the reservoir, just 2 bolts and the hose, and then just took this off. This shit's supposed to sit right here. You have these, which you have to squeeze, just push them through. This is your actual cable for the hood. Then you have this harness that goes in these holes. These, the trick, easy ass trick that I saw in that one video. I'll probably put in. I'll put both videos that I used to figure out how to do this shit. But just slide a 10 on here, and that'll depress these 2 sides. Push it through, really easy. Obviously, you have these 2 bolts up there, and then the 1 nut down there, and then you have this clip, plastic clip that'll go here. And you have 1 more down there, 1 up there, and then 1 there. Next step, take off your headlight brackets. It's supposed to go like that. I just put my bolts back in, and any bolts that you can put back in, always put back in. Same shit over here. They're labeled left hand, right hand, so you can't really fuck it up. Time to go put these in the garage. And anyone who's done this before, I want to ask. I remember watching the video where the dude's taking apart the front core support, and I saw these openings. And obviously they're for the intake, right? They're for the intake, but I was thinking if anyone made like a bell mount that could be bolted on here, that way it could like get more air. It's just something that I wanted to know. I'll get back to it. So I just took out the washer fluid container. What the fuck is that? It's a fat ass mosquito, bro. Fuck out of here, bitch. Anyways, 2 10s over here, and then 1 10 over here, and then you have 1 connector there. You have 1 connector there, so you only have 2. Let's keep it pushing. Hopefully I can get this. Hopefully I can get to the timing cover by the end of the day. I started working on this up probably around 5. And it's now 7, so it's only been 2 hours, and I've done a lot. Alright, so here I am so far. So I took off the well, you don't take it off, but you loosen it. This is the steering cooler, I'm pretty sure. We have 1, 2 bolts right there. They go down there. And then you have 1 right there. You can see where it's supposed to go. And then you have 1 more in there where that bolt is. Yeah, 1 more in there. Just kind of move this bitch out the way. And then you also have a piece. It's supposed to go within, it's part of the intake system, but it's supposed to go on this metal bracket. Pull that bitch off. all the 12s up here. You have 3 12s, and then 2 more 12s there, 2 more there. Same shit on this side, 2 12s. All right, so if you're using this Lyle kit, that's the part number for the AC lines. You want the green one for the big line, and you want the blue one for the little line. There you go. Like I said, these have, damn, that one's still in there. You can see each one has 2 O-rings. That one has 2 O-rings. That one has 2 O-rings. And then this line has an O-ring, and then this line has an O-ring. So it looks like you need 3 of these size, and then 3 of this size. Hopefully that kit should cover me. Hopefully. If not, I'm sure I'll be able to buy some from O'Reilly's or AutoZone, whatever. But yeah, quick little update. Gigantic disclaimer: whenever you're doing this job, cap off your AC system, cap off your condenser, and cap off the lines that go to the rest of the AC system. I would also recommend replacing your AC dryer as well whenever you're doing this job, because if you don't, you'll see here in this next video that I'm about to upload. But I'm pretty much going to have to replace my whole AC system. So big disclaimer, big warning, cap off your lines. All right, back to the show. Coolant hose. Invested some coolant picks. The plastic one was really easy to take off. This one couldn't twist it by hand, so coolant pick broke it loose. Really quick, really easy. Not really much struggle with this. Quick update. Took out the support. I guess the lower support you would call it. So lower coolant hose off. You can see. Like I said, I definitely would suggest coolant picks, especially for that bottom one. It's a lot harder to take off because this connection up here is plastic, but that one down there is aluminum, so it ends up building like that. I don't know what you would call it, but calculus or whatever the fuck. It makes the hose stick to it, so really easy to access. Even with the bar on, even with the lower mount on, whatever you would call it, it's still super easy to access. All right, so I got the radiator fan out. You can see all we have left is just the trans cooler lines, and that's it. We can pull this bitch out and we're done for today. Tomorrow all of this comes out. Hey, the dude in the video was right about that tool, about that he called it like a fucking, like a power steering line removal tool. But what I'm using and what it came in, it's just a clip remover. All it is you put it on where the line was. It was really easy on the bottom. You just separate it and that's it. Super easy. And that's it. I think I'm done. Oh, it's that connection down there. So here we are. Day 1. Yay! Oh shit, bruh. Got a whole bunch of trans fluid. There we fucking are, bro. Honestly, not hard at all. If I'm, for my skill level, which I was kind of, well, getting to this point, like I said, getting to this point, honestly, it takes time, yeah, but it is not hard at all. It really isn't. Just step by step, little by little. Like literally nothing gave me trouble. Nothing at all. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm very happy with that, actually. 8:34 in the morning, next day. Now it's time to remove the timing cover. Alright, so I might have to get a new pan because I did kind of bend it a lot. You can see, kind of bent it. I'm not sure if it was still good, but good news is I don't think there's any metal. There is like no metal at all, so that's really good. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to take this shit off without like marring the fucking surface up, because you can see where I was hitting it. But how the fuck are you supposed to do that without like marring up that fucking mating surface? You can see the galley gasket right there. That gasket's gone. That shit is gone. See right there. Where was the other? Right there. Yeah, so that jig was gone. That jig was gone for sure. Alright. There you go. That's pretty close. Right on that teeth. We're still on these markings. So at this point, take off the tensioner, take off the guides, both of them, take off the chain, take off the galley gaskets, water pump, thermostat, and then clean it, reseal. Bro, the luck that I was just bestowed upon, right? Every single one of these was a fucking bitch. It was a fucking bitch. But you need a fat ass Phillips. Make sure it completely fills it up, because you don't want to strip these hoes. Once I did all of these, some were really hard, some were really easy. Oh, tip, put your screwdriver in there and then hit it with a hammer just to loosen it up. I know they also make specific tools, especially for like rotors and shit, where you put it in, then you hit it with a hammer and it twists it at the same time. I would definitely suggest that tool for this. But like I was saying, I got lucky as hell because I did all of them right, and I was dreading this bitch right here. And this bitch is, the big one is too big to go in there, so got the second biggest one. I put it in there, and look. That shit was already loose. I was like, oh my god, bro. Cause I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get that bitch out. But luck, God, whatever it may be, he already loosened that joint up. I got lucky as hell, because I honestly did not know how I was gonna do it. But now I'm gonna take all this shit off and put in the new gaskets. So alright, so hands down, the hardest shit I've done so far. I think I've been on this shit for an hour or two, just getting this shit clean. Because the gasket, like, it's like burned on there, and I gouged it like a little bit. You see, I gouged it there. Whole bunch of scratches. I mean, it's impossible to really not nick the metal sometimes here and there, because it's so fucking hard to get off. But it's probably been an hour or two just on that. I think the last update was Monday, and it's currently Friday, so it's been a while. I just haven't really had a lot of time, especially with work. So I tried working on it on Monday, but I ended up feeling rushed and like I just didn't feel like it was a good idea. Yeah, yesterday we put on the cover. I was with my dad, so we put on the cover. We put on all the accessories, and then this morning I put in the radiator, put in the core support, put in pretty much everything. I already changed the oil filter, put in a new oil pan. I already filled it up with 5 quarts, so it should be enough. And then I'm getting ready to start it right now for the first time. So hopefully we got no leaks. Hopefully the timing isn't messed up. We're about to see here. Everything should be good. The boot kit. So I rebooted all of my coils, all of my ignition coils. The previous owner said he already did the spark plugs, cleaned the throttle bodies. I didn't mess with the map sensors. I know they can kind of be sensitive, so I didn't bother cleaning them. And also a couple of tips I almost forgot. A couple of tips. So whenever you're taking off the front valve cover, or the front timing cover, whenever you're taking off the front timing cover, all of these 10s that you see that hold the cover in, separate those from the ones that you pull out from the coolant pipe, because you have 3 bolts holding in the coolant pipe that go into the motor. I did the mistake of combining all the ones that went around the cover and combining those two. And once I realized that I had the wrong bolts, I had to pretty much pull out every single one and measure it to see which one was the right length, because these are not the same length as these. These and these are not the same length. Second thing, for the Galley Gaskets, I hope you don't get unlucky, but the one that was behind the phaser, for me, was already loose. The one that was behind the phaser was already loose, but the rest were extremely difficult to get out. But whenever you're putting it back in, first of all, you're gonna get a 4 hex, like a 4 hex for the you're gonna end up getting a 4 hex for the hardware that Z1 gives you. They end up giving me 2 extra ones. Let's see, it's a hex 4. Let's see. It's a hex 4. I would recommend getting something like this, because I've heard like a long hex bit that has like 1/4 inch or 3/8 drive. I heard that you could actually easily put on the one that was behind the phaser with this shit, with a really long bit, which I got unlucky and forgot to bring it, and I tried using this shit and it almost rounded it, and I just timed it as much as I could. I really should have used the other one, but it's too late now since I already used red Loctite as well, so it's already in there. I'm sure it'll be fine, because the video recommended like 12 to 11 foot-pounds, but I set it to 12. So all of them that I torqued it in the order than it showed in the video, and I torqued them to 12 instead of 11. So we should be all right. Other concern that I have is that this won't seal properly. Like, maybe I just did a shit job with the timing cover, but I think we'll be okay. I just ended up using Ultra Gray because I had to wait 2 weeks for fucking Nissan's RTV, and I wasn't doing that shit, so I just used Ultra Gray on a caulking gun. But yeah, those are my tips. Don't mix these bolts with those. Use a long hex pick for the bolt that's underneath the phaser. I don't know if you call it a phaser on these. Let's see, no faults. Coolant temp. Let's look at battery voltage. Damn, that shit's pretty low. Ignition timing. Let's see. Engine speed. And engine oil temp. with the foot mat. So, all right, let's crank it. Oh, fuck. Shit, here we go. It fucking cranked, bro. It's running fine. Holy shit, look at that. Cause it's cold, that's why. That shit ain't leaking. So you gotta wait for oil temp to hit 176. So this is my pressure at idle. We're running 34 psi, 176, 800 RPMs. 34 psi, 34, 33. I'm gonna now do the 2K test. See how that looks. Be right back. Is this normal or is it too high? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Check this shit out. So I posted this on Reddit just because I wanted to make sure, because I've never seen pressures that high, right? Running 34, you know, and then I got an email. It's on responded, and dude, look who it is, bro. Shout out to Motivate, bro. He said those are good numbers, so why not go for a night drive? Hey. So, I mean, if he's giving me the green light, I feel like it's good. I was a little bit worried about maybe having like RTV spillage in some passageways. Maybe that's why the pressure was so high, because I've never seen a pressure that high before. But if he's telling me, you know, those are good numbers, then I'll go drive the car.
Mr. Duckworth.
Alright, so far so good. Two issues that I see that I'm gonna have to fix here pretty soon are, you see how there's coolant there? Dried up coolant. It's that lower hose. It's actually seeping from that connection. And then I just noticed this now. There's a whole bunch of like AC dye rolling down the back of the compressor. It's actually the low, you can see it right there. I don't think it's gonna focus, but that low side connection is leaking, which I didn't realize until looking at it, but I should have known. It's just two O-rings, high side and low side. I replaced that. I replaced the lower hose and clamps, and we're good. There you go. Placed it with a Gates one. You can see
That's where it used to leak. It's not leaking anymore. And then the AC one. I ended up replacing the high side and low side because why not? So yeah, yesterday I test drove it. Nothing. I even did like I pretty like I redlined it pretty much. I was shifting at like 7,500 RPMs. So at this point, this is gonna be the end of the video. If you're thinking about buying a G or already have a G, definitely make sure to check your definitely make sure to check your galley gaskets. Check that oil pressure right here. You saw it in the last video that I made. Check it right here. All you need is a 27. Take this off, go to Harbor Freight and buy an oil gauge and check your oil pressure, because if your motor's good and it's running fine right now, you want to keep it that way. So make sure that the oil pressure is where it should be. If it's not, then I mean, you really only got two options: do it yourself or pay someone to do it. And you can always get rid of the vehicle too, but obviously, I mean, if you bought a G, you know, that's because you knew what these cars were. These are, in my opinion, I think that's probably the best car for the money right now, considering the horsepower, the reliability. Like, I copped this whole for 6 bands, like $6,300, and this wasn't even that hard to take off. It really wasn't. All you need is like a 10 mil, a 12 mil, some extensions, a hex bit, a Phillips, a screwdriver. You know, it's not a lot. It really isn't a lot. I'd say the only hard part, and I think I said this in one of the earlier clips, the only hard part about this job is actually removing the galley gaskets, like the galley plates, and removing the gasket from those aluminum plates. That was the hardest part, and prepping the valve cover, cleaning it and prepping it. Cleaning it and prepping it. That's really the hardest shit about this. Most time consuming, the hardest is prepping the surfaces and cleaning them and make sure that they're good and trying not to gouge the metal. But yeah, literally, like, I changed this coolant hose and I changed those 2 AC compressor lines within an hour. Like, this car is so easy to work on. It really is. So check back in next video where I end up replacing these cats. I'm still deciding if I should change them with Berks or the Fast Intentions. You guys let me know. I'm definitely thinking, I've been debating if I really want to go full bolt-on or close to full bolt-on, and I think I'm kind of convinced that I might want to get Z1 headers, either Berks or Fast Intentions high flows, and then the Z1 sedan touring catback. So yeah, hopefully you guys found it useful or entertaining. I'm out. That's it. That's all she wrote, bruh. Alright guys, catch y'all later.